Dear participants, very good evening. I welcome you all for day 4 of National E-Workshop. On behalf of our management of Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan University, I wholeheartedly welcome you all. The 7-day E-Workshop is organized by Department of English, School of Engineering and Technology, Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan University, Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu, India. Today we have a resource person with us. I take privilege to introduce today's resource person, Dr. Vijayya Reka ma'am, Assistant Professor, Senior, Department of English, School of Engineering and Technology, Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan University. Welcome you ma'am. Today's session is entitled as Interpersonal Communication. I hope that the session will be very fruitful for all the participants. Before handing over the session to resource person, I shall welcome.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. Before handing over session to resource person, I shall welcome the participants who have responded here their names. Monish, welcome. Jagadishwaran, welcome. Jagadishwaran. Kavita, ma'am, welcome. Chitra, ma'am, welcome. Chitra, ma'am, from Chennai. Sanjeev Rayadu, professor, from Tirupati, welcome, sir. So, very good evening to all the participants. We are in day 4 for the session Interpersonal Communication. It's organized by Department of English, School of Engineering and Technology, Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan University. Good evening, Rajeshwari ma'am. Welcome. Welcome user. Welcome Shridim from Psychology, Clinical Psychology from our own university. Sabir Hussain sir from Hyderabad, welcome sir. Sangavi from K. Ramakrishnan College of Technology, welcome. I request all the participants to post your name, designation or qualification, institution name in chat box for attendance purpose. Anisha, good evening. Parvati Malipatti from Andhra, welcome. Very good evening, Tanya Kavi. Sobhya ma'am, welcome. Shalini from Yanapaya deemed to be university, welcome. Welcome Anisha ma'am. Welcome Akshita. Welcome Saubhya. Welcome Kavita ma'am. Saubhya, welcome. Rajita, welcome from Kerala. Welcome Tamil Chelvi ma'am. Kritika, welcome Kritika. J. Arul Roshini, welcome. Dear participant, welcome. Vandana V. Rathod, welcome. So I welcome all the participants. Okay. So now I hand over the session to our resource person who possesses 18 plus years of teaching experience, who is with us to share her knowledge on interpersonal communication. Ma'am, please.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Good evening, all. And I welcome you all for this wonderful session for 7-day National Workshop on Essential Digital Languages Skills for college students. And today is day 4, and my topic is interpersonal communication. Before starting my presentation, I would like to thank the management and chief patrons, Sri A. Srinivasan, Honorable Chancellor Ayya, Srimati Ananthalakshmi Kadiravan, Pro Chancellor of Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan University, our Vice Chancellor, Dr. C.K. Ranjan, Registrar, Dr. Dhanasekaran Devaraj, Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan University, and Dr. V. Shekhar, Dean, School of Engineering and Technology, Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan University, Dr. A. Sirajunisha, Associate Dean, SNH of School of Engineering and Technology, Dr. R. Shobia, Head of the Department of English, School of Engineering and Technology, Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan University. I thank all for giving me this opportunity for this 7-day national workshop. Now, I would like to come to the topic. My topic is interpersonal communication. So, the process of sharing information between people is called communication. Actually, communication is the Latin word, which we have the etymology of Latin word communicare, which means sharing of information, ideas, and emotion between people. It involves sending and receiving messages between different people. There are different stages of communication. In that, we have verbal or non-verbal communication. Whatever it may be, it helps the people to understand each other. So effective communication builds relationships and solves problem. So communication is the basic necessity for any relationship. So there are types of communication. The major four types of communication are verbal communication, non-verbal communication, visual communication, and written communication. So under these major four uh, types, we have other types also, like listening communication. Under verbal communication, we have face-to-face communication, which comes under between two people, from one to one or one to many or many to one, whatever it is. The verbal communication is taken place when we use the language, words as channel or media of communication. Next, we have non-verbal communication. For this non-verbal communication, we don't need any language or words as medium to communicate any messages between two people. And instead, we use body languages, which consist of eye contact, facial expression, tone of voice, postures, gestures, so even proximity and dress code comes under non-verbal communication, which will be more effective than verbal communication. Next, we have written communication. So in this type of communication, we use email, chats, and even feedbacks, project management tools. So we use this as a record for further references also. So this is written communication. Mostly formal communications are used as written communications. Next, we have visual communications. In this visual communication, we use presentation, charts, graphs, videos, slide decks, so which will reach the persons more easily than other way of communication. Next, active listening. Active listening is also a way of communication, which we have open-ended questions. The active listening is not judged. It cannot be judged because it is listening and we don't have any proof of listening. Next, paraphrasing the context and curiosity. It increases the curiosity for communication. Next, the elements of interpersonal communication. So the major elements where we have to make the communication effective and successful. So the first element is sender and receiver of any communication. So the individuals who involved in this communication process is very important to make this communication effective and successful. Next, we have the element message. So what is the message we are going to communicate? What are the ideas we are going to communicate? So that is very important when we want to make the communication effective. Next, medium or channel. So the medium through which the message is sent. Either it may be face to face or through phone or over phone or through mail. So whatever it is, the channel of communication also plays a very important role to make the communication effective. Next, feedback is also an element, because unless we get any feedback from the receiver, we will not be sure that our message has reached the receiver. So the feedback is a very important element which is very essential to make the communication effective and successful. Next, context. So that context comes at the end, because so only with the feedback we can identify whether the message has reached in the correct sense of communication. So unless if the feedback is different, we can understand that message has been conveyed in a different way. So the context is in the last. Only after receiving the feedback for our message, we can able to ensure that our context of message is correct and clear. So in this context, the environment and situation in which the communication takes place also plays a very vital role. Next, this is a picture which explains the communication process. So in one side we have sender, and the other side we have receiver, and in between them we have the filter, that is the channel or medium which filter the message, which the decode the message and giving the message to the receiver. So when sender gives the message, it is filtered, interpreted, decoded, and it reaches the receiver. So in turn, receiver gives the feedback which reaches the sender, and the communication process is complete. So only with this complete process we can make the communication effective and successful. Next one. Here we can see some types of IPC. IPC is interpersonal communication. So verbal communication, as I said before, it is usage of words, languages, sounds, all these things. Next one is non-verbal communication, where we don't need any language as medium or any words to communicate our messages. So unless we are and instead we can use the body language, facial expressions, gestures, postures, tones of voice. Other than this, we can also use the proximity and dress code as the way of communication in the non-verbal communication. Next we have written communication, where you have emails, texts, letters. So these things comes under written communication. Next. So here is another important tools, or you can say it as the different methods of communication. Here, interpersonal skills we can see in the from the lower part: verbal communication, problem solving, decision making, assertiveness, non-verbal communication, listening skills, negotiation. So all these is comes under interpersonal skills. So now I am not talking about the communication; it is about the skill. So we should have some interpersonal skill, which all these components are compressed in this interpersonal skills. Once again, I repeat that verbal communication, problem solving skill, decision making skill, assertiveness, non-verbal communication, listening skill, and negotiation skills. So all these comes under interpersonal skills. So apart from this, we have leadership skills, conflict resolution, which is very important in any workplace and even in family. Then teamwork and collaboration is also a skill. So we should be able to work in a team, and we should be able to collaborate activities which will give the fruitful outcomes. Next, emotional intelligence, also a skill. So uh, acting according to the situation is also very important. Next, adaptability skills, negotiation skill, stakeholder management, time management, decision making skills. So these all these 10 skills are very important to improve ourselves, and all these comes under interpersonal skills. Here some of the benefits of interpersonal skills. So if you inculcate all these interpersonal skills, how we will be benefited? So if you have the interpersonal skills, you can increase your chances of landing your dream job. So if you have a dream job, you should enhance your interpersonal skill, you should enhance your leadership quality, problem solving skill, time management. So if you enhance all these skills, you can increase your chances of landing your dream job. So the second one is build lasting relationship in your workplace. So as I said before, conflict resolution in workplace is very important skill which will help you to build lasting relationship in your workplace. And third one is empathize with your workmates and customers and partners. So stakeholder management, then customer management. So all these comes under this third skill. Third benefit, sorry. Next one is motivate those within your team. So the next benefits is when you are having the leadership skill and teamwork ability, you will motivate those people who are in your team and who are very hesitated and who are very introvert. So you can motivate them and you can make them to involved 100% and you can get the result of your as your outcome. Next one is contribute to team's productivity, morals, and overall success. This also comes under leadership quality, teamwork ability, and conflict resolution, stress management. So, if you have all these skills, it will definitely contribute to your team's productivity, moral, and overall success. Next one is drive collaboration, unity, and teamwork. Again, the same workplace. If you want to become successful, you should have the interpersonal skill which will drive collaboration, unity, and teamwork in your workplace. Next, so if you have good interpersonal skill and if you have the adaptability skill, so you will get more career growth opportunities, which will make you a good future in your professional environment. And the eighth one is thrive both in your professional and personal life. So if you inculcate all these interpersonal skills, so it will help you to thrive in both your professional and personal life. Next one, ma'am. So importance of interpersonal communication. So this interpersonal communication builds trust and understanding among the people to whom you are communicating. So if you want to make the communication trustworthy, you should have the interpersonal communication. Next, this interpersonal communication skill facilitates teamwork and cooperation. It also helps in conflict resolution. This interpersonal communication skill helps in conflict resolution. Next, fourth one, this interpersonal communication skill enhances personal and professional relationships. So we have relationships in both personal life and professional life. So if you want to strengthen both personal and professional relationships, you should have those interpersonal skills along with your interpersonal communication skill. So So when you want to make your communication effective, so this communication requires the following. First element to make the communication is message. So when you choose the message to communicate others, the message should be clear and concise. So when you have the message in a clear and concise way, it will make your communication easy as well as successful. Next, it should be accurate. So the message should be accurate and it should be according to the person to whom you are communicating and according to the context for which you are communicating. So all these depends to make the communication successful. And the effective communication also requires relevant to the needs of receiver. So for example, if you are having a vessel which is not whole, which is not in proper condition and then it is leaks, if you are pouring something into it, there is no meaning in it. So because it is not ready to get anything. So relevant to the needs of receiver, your receiver should need the information, then only they will be active in listening and receiving. So this is very important element to make the communication effective. Next, your message should be timely. So in which time, in which message you should send. So if you are sending or if you are giving some message to the receivers, it should be time based. If you are not, if the message is not based on the time, required time, so it will not be useful for them, so they will not be ready to receive it. So time based message is also important. Next, your message should be meaningful, applicable to the situation. So whatever message we give, or so whatever message we send, it should be meaningful and applicable to the situation to make the communication effective. Next one. Next one is next element which we saw for the communication is channel. So what is the channel? Whatever channel may be or medium may be, it should be appropriate. The first thing, how the channel to be, to make the communication effective, first thing is the channel should be appropriate. We should choose an appropriate channel of communication to make the communication effective. An appropriate channel is one that fits the purpose of the communication and the nature of the message. So if you want to address a mass, in that, if you don't have any mic, then your channel is not appropriate, because the number of receivers or the number of people to whom you are going to communicate, it depends on it, also very important, and based on that you should choose your channel of communication. Next, accessible. So the channel which we use for communication should be accessible by the receiver. An accessible channel can be easily used and understood by the intended audience regardless of their abilities, location, or access to technology. So this accessibility is very important. Even if you see, now this presentation and this workshop is connected with YouTube, which is very easy for all the receiver to access it. So instead of, even it will be difficult to access in Gmeet, it is more easier than the Gmeet to access in the YouTube. So this accessibility is also very important when we come, when we regard to the channel to make the communication effective. Next, affordable. So your channel or medium of communication should be affordable for both the receiver and the sender. So an affordable channel fits within the budget for the communication effort, maximizing return on investment. For example, if you want to address some group of people in a village, and you have to make some awareness regarding some important thing, and if you are asking them to join in Gmeet or YouTube, it is not easy or affordable for them. So you have to address them in person, you have to convey the message in person, in the way how they understand. So this is the affordable. They can't afford for a smartphone or laptop to get the message, to receive the message. So this affordable, the channel should also be affordable for the receiver. Next, an appealing channel. An appealing channel engage the audience interest and make them receptive to the message. So, so many, you have seen so many stage shows. They, in between their lecture or in between their presentation, they used to put some songs. They used to crack some jokes to make the audience appeal. That appealing channel should engage, which will make the audience interest and make them receptive to the message. So another thing also, they used to say, when we start an presentation, we can start the presentation with a question which will make the audience appealing, and it will increase the interest of the audience. So all these are the channels which we use, the elements of channel to make the communication effective. Next one. And an effective verbal communication. So when we have the interpersonal communication, there are different modes of interpersonal communication. One is verbal communication and another one is non-verbal communication. So verbal communication should clarifies the message. It needs the receiver to listen. It encourages empathetically. It acknowledges the message. It restates and repeats. So verbal communication between two people, directly, it may be a direct communication. We use languages, words, and we are trying to give the message to the receiver. Here, the next one is non-verbal communication. Here I have given a pie chart which shows the importance of non-verbal communication. If you see in this pie chart, 55% of the communication is successful when we use body language, that is body movements, facial expressions, eye contacts, gestures, postures. So when we use these with our communication, it becomes successful. Only 7% of the words and language plays role in the effective communication. Then 38 percentage of in communication, only 38% is taken by the voice, tone, modulation, and pauses, gap fillers. So this is the pie chart which well explain the importance of nonverbal communication. So when we communicate something, instead of using words, voice modulation, pauses, all these things, body languages plays a vital role to communicate whatever we want, and it makes the communication successful. Next one. Here, there are body languages. Good body language. What are the good body language means? Making eye contact. So, making eye contact with the speaker, with the receiver is very important. So, when we want to communicate something with each other, we should have a good eye contact, which also explains our honesty. So, if you are maintaining a good eye contact, you can be taken as an honest person, unless you will not have this, they will judge you as the dishonest person. Next one is leaning towards. So leaning towards means it also explains that we are interested. It shows our interest towards the speaker, and it will motivate the speaker to give us more information, and it will also makes the communication successful. Next, we have smiling. So this is also comes under facial expression. Maintaining a smiling face is very important to make any communication or any relationship in a positive, to take any relationship in a positive way. Next, nodding. You can see some people, whatever we say, they will be speechless. They will not even nod. So when we will not be knowing whether they are listening to us or not. So if we don't want, if you are not able to give some response as yes or no, at least we can nod to motivate the speaker and just make them know that we are listening to them. So this nodding also comes under good body language. Here are also some pictures which shows the good body language. Next one is what are the bad body language. So if we didn't maintain eye contact with our speaker, or when we are in any communication, so this comes under bad body language, which is not advisable at any stage of communication. Next, poor posture and leaning away. So when leaning forward is a good body language, but leaning away is a body language, which shows we are not interested in the context, or we are not interested in the speaker's message. So sitting posture, keeping your hand gestures, body postures, standing posture. So all these comes under poor posture. We have to maintain a very good posture when we are in a communication. Next, angry or bored expression. So when we being a teacher, when we enter the class, so we can identify the students by their facial expression, either they are bored or interested towards our lecture. So everything is absorbed by their facial expression. Not only ourselves, even students are able to read our faces. So they react different for the different teachers. So even for us, if we are going for the same class for the multiple classes, but one time, sometimes we will be very interested and involved to get into the class. Sometimes some external obstacles make us to be angry, and it will be shown in our face. So when we enter the class, on seeing our face, the students will be able to read our face, and accordingly they will react. So if you are very happy and if you are entering into the class, that will be reflected in the students also. And if you are very angry and if you are in out mood, when we enter the class, all the students will try to observe us, and they will try to maintain silence, because they know we are angry and they don't want to make the situation worse. Next, shuffling papers. So when we are in a table or desk, so our body language, simply shuffling the papers, throwing out the things, not keeping the things in order, that also comes under bad body language. Next, looking at watch. So everyone should have experienced this when we are handling classes before break, or before lunch break, or before the last hour. After, if we are having the classes for 1 hour, after 50 minutes we can see the students looking at their watch. Actually, we don't like it as a teacher because we feel that it is a very bad body language, and it also should be avoided because the teacher also has to go home or has to go for break. So the students can avoid this. This is also comes under bad body language. Next, some non-verbal clues which express the gestures of impatience. Because if we are impatient in some context, it will be expressed in the following clues. So, drumming one's fingers on the table or tapping with something. So, when we are in impatient, when we feel enough, it's beyond the limit. So, we used to drum the fingers on the table or we used to tap something which shows our impatience. Next, fidgeting in the seat, swinging one's leg. So, not sitting in a proper posture, not sitting in a proper position, or just shaking our body. So, all these shows the impatience, and it is also comes under non-verbal clues. Next, again, examining one's watch, which comes under bad body language, also express our impatience. Next, looking past you. So this is also comes under bad body language, which express our impatience towards the communication or presentation. Next. Next, collecting non existent fibers. These are emotional discomfort. So, when we are in a communication with some people, we will feel some discomfort in that communication. So, during that situation, what are the gestures or non-verbal clues we used to do is collecting non existent fibers. We can see if people taking a file from the table, keeping it somewhere, again taking it, keeping it somewhere. So these all these things shows that they are not comfortable in that communication or comfortable in that context. Next, next, shaking off one's clothing. Simply adjusting our clothes, adjusting our dress also shows our discomfort. Next, scratching one's neck, taking off and putting on the ring. So all these are the symbols of expression of emotional discomfort when we are in a communication. Uh, Here I have posted some emojis symbols which we use in our day-to-day texting messages, WhatsApp messages, everything. So I'll just have a look at these emojis. These are the smileys, emojis, emoticons, whatever we say. We use this in our day to day life. So, when we want to communicate, instead of typing something sentence by sentence or something, we just post a message, image of this emojis, which is well understood by the receiver. So, these all comes under facial expressions, which is very effective in body language and non-verbal communication. And here I have posted some important hand gestures. So this also comes under hand gestures which we can use instead of typing lengthy sentences or speaking lengthy conversation. So the nowadays we used to use this. It also reduce the time consumption. On the go we can respond to someone. We need not take some time to respond to someone. On the go we can put them as emoji and it is well understood by the receiver. Next move. So here I want to show you a video about our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi's body language. So he used to use, you have seen so many videos of him in which we have different ways of handshake he deliver for the foreign dignitaries. Here is a video which will explain the importance of body language by our Prime Minister. Ma'am, there is no volume, ma'am. No audio. Ma'am, no audio, ma'am.
taken as a threat. So they PM Narendra Modi's body language. So the same person in an Indian interview and in an international interview, you will see different kind of hand gestures. When he goes to say UN, this one hand gesture, the pointed finger, which comes very naturally for a lot of people when they stand in front of a large audience. On an international ground, pointed finger is something that's totally not acceptable because it is a very aggressive gesture. In fact, wherever you use it, when you point your finger at somebody, it's taken as a threat. So their mind is already so alert that they might not accept what you are telling them. Okay. Now, when you see him on the international forefront, he's changed that to become a precision grip. So all that tuning has to be done. Domestically, it's different, and internationally, it's a little different. PM Narendra Modi.
Yes, I hope you understand this video. So Narendra Modi ji used to point out the finger when he used to address the gathering in India, but it is not accepted in international level because they think it is a way of dominance. So he used to make it as precise and he avoids pointing out the finger when we are addressing international gatherings. So this is the importance of body language. So if we are using the body language in wrong way, it will be very offensive in other countries. So the body language and usage of body language is very important to make the communication effective. Next, ma'am. Here you can see the digital tools for interpersonal communication. So with the rise of technology, digital tools have become integral to interpersonal communication, especially in remote or hybrid environments. So nowadays we have flipped class, hybrid classes, hybrid conferences. So for all these things, if you want to communicate in interpersonal level, we need these digital tools. So nowadays even PhD Viva is conducted in digital mode, in online mode. So all these are for all these things. We need the awareness and we need the knowledge of using this interpersonal communication digital tools. Here I have some of the digital tools. We know already we are using digital tools, and the COVID has taught us to use the digital tools for classroom teaching, for all these things in education department and in education system. This digital tools plays a very vital role after COVID-19. So almost all the teachers will know how to handle the digital tools. Ma'am, next. Here, common digital tools for interpersonal communication. First one is email. So for formal and asynchronous communication, we are using for emails. It may be a group email, one-to-one email, whatever it is. It also comes under digital tool. Next one is instant messaging. That is tools like Slack, Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp, Telegram. So all these comes under instant messaging for quick and informal, yeah, even for informal chats. Next, video conferencing. Nowadays, all the important classes, competitive exam, even UPSC classes are conducted in video conferencing using Zoom platform, Google Meet platform, Microsoft Teams for face-to-face virtual meetings. For all these things, they are using video conferencing, which is also effective, time-consuming. It is not time-consuming. We don't have any difficulty to travel along to attend the classes. So all these are because of these digital tools. Next, we have social media platform like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, X. All these things are the networking and social media platforms where we can enlarge or enhance our communication and contacts. So by using this LinkedIn and Twitter, we can extend our contacts international or globally, which will help to grow ourselves. Next, collaboration tools like Google Workspace, Microsoft 365 for shared documents and teamworks. So nowadays, if you want to, before we used to send a Excel sheet, and everybody will, if you want to get the data from 10 members, 10 members will give us an Excel sheet. We have to put together everything. We have to compile everything. So all these was there, but nowadays it has become more easier. And if you post a Google worksheet, all the 10 members can input their data at the same time. So this all these are digital tools which has made our interpersonal communication more easier and effective. Next one. Here, digital literacy tools for creativity and marketing. So apart from the academic related tools, there are so many tools which will help us to increase or enhance our creativity and marketing skill. Just make a look at it. Some of the tools are Hootsuite, HubSpot, MailChimp, Google Ads, Google Analytics, Salesforce, HubSpot, Canva, Reversion, SEMrush. So all these tools are the digital literacy tools for creativity and marketing. Using these tools, we can enhance our creativity. We can also market our goods, products, all these things. Next one. Then types of e-communication in interpersonal communication. So here the communication network is given: infrastructure, telephone services, audio conferencing, voice messaging, video conferencing, web application, mobility, instant messaging, calendar, collaboration, email. So all these comes under types of communication in interpersonal communication. So here also we have communication wheel, which we have all the important things which we need for to make the communication effective and successful. What are the challenges we face when we have an interpersonal communication? So lack of non-verbal cues can lead to misunderstandings. So when we communicate something, we should also maintain proper body language, proper non-verbal communication cues, which will lead to successful of communication. Otherwise it will lead to misunderstandings. If we lack in non-verbal cues, it leads to misunderstandings. Over reliance on digital communication may reduce personal connection. So if we are living in a home and if we are living with our family, so we should maintain personal communication, and we should avoid using gadgets or communication over WhatsApp. All these things should be avoided to maintain a good relationship among the family. This over reliance and over dependence on digital gadgets and digital communication should be avoided, and these comes under an important challenge by all the people nowadays, not only students or youngsters or middle aged. So all the people are facing this challenge, that is over dependence on digital gadgets. Next, technical issue excuse me technical issues can disrupt communication flow. So if you are dependent on digital communication, sometimes there may be network issues, power cut, fluctuation. So all these technical issues are the challenges which we lose the flow of communication, which will disturb the flow of communication. This also comes under challenges, but there is no other go, we have to face it, and we have to make our communication successful. Next one. Here I have posted an image. This is the activity for participants. So I have posted a image of a body language. What does this body language indicate? And here I have given some options, 4 options. Please type your answer in the chat box. Dear participants, please type your answers in the chat box, mentioning what does this body language indicate from the options given below. Yes, Many has posted your answers. We can see the right answer. Here the answer is nervousness. Yes, nail biting is a common body language behavior that helps some people relieve tension and anxiety during stressful situations. So when we feel nervousness, we used to bite nails. Here the second question, what does this body language cue indicate? Please post your answers in the chat box. So for the same picture, the question is about the hand gestures. Now post your answer of the body language, that is hand gestures. What the hand gestures cues indicate of this image? Yes, ma'am. The answer is the correct answer is confidence, because if you see the hand gestures of the previous image, it shows the confidence level. When we are speaking, when we are the speaker and we are confident enough about our lecture, we used to keep our hands together. This hand gestures is called steepling. Steepling occurs when someone is typically feel confident and in charge. The higher someone holds the steeple, the more confident they feel. So you will rarely see steepling from a subordinate in front of his boss. So when a subordinate and boss are speaking, so the boss will have this hand gestures, where we don't see the subordinate having this hand gestures in front of the boss. So this hand gestures reveals the confidence of the speaker. Next. So here, which of the following pictures best portrays the disgust emotion? So I have given the pictures. You want to tell me which emotion, which gesture show the disgust? Priya ma'am?
Ma'am, please hold on.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. I believe many of the participants has given right answer for this question. Um, yes, the answer is option D. Disgust is the expression you make when you smell something bad or hear something nasty. So when we squint our eyes, all these things comes under disgust. Which area of the body does someone typically touch to indicate sincerity? So if you want to indicate that you are sincere, which part of the body we used to touch? That is the question for this. Please post your answers. To show your sincerity, which body part we will touch? Here the options are D, knee, B, nose, C, arm, and E, chest. So which of the body parts we used to touch to show our sincerity? That is the question here. Yes, ma'am. The answer is option. Sorry, option is wrong, but the answer is chest. So the word clutch, touching the heart, it certainly rings true here. Yes, when we want to say something, so sincerely we used to say touching the heart, and we used to promise all the things when we want to show our sincerity. We have to we will use to touch our heart and say the information. Touching the chest with body, both the hands, touching the chest with both the hands reveals our sincerity. Ma'am, next, ma'am. Here the fifth image is, I think everyone know this picture is from the image is from which movie? Can you post the movie name in the chat box? Participant, can you post the movie name in the chat box from which this scene or this photo has been taken? Yes, this scene is from the blockbuster movie Tupaki. But my question is, so in this movie, which make the that is villain to identify these people? Which fact make the villain to identify these people? How they get to identify these people who done this 12 sleeper cells, 12 murder of the sleeper cells? How did he get that clue? Can anyone tell me? Yes, yes. It's Bhavashri is correct. Yes, this is the clue. Yes. The clue is the suit, the formal coat suit they wear in a wedding makes the villain to identify this group who killed the 12 sleeper cell terrorist. And that's why I used to say in about non-verbal communication, dress code also plays a very important role. Not only this, if you are seeing someone on Sunday, a whole family is going on a white dress. If you see a whole family who is dressed in full white and they are going together on Sunday, can you guess where they go? Can you guess where they go? A whole family in white dress on Sunday. Can anyone post me the answer? Yes, to my knowledge, during Sundays, Christian people used to wear white dress and they go for church to have their mass. So that's why I used to say dress code also plays a vital role in non-verbal communication. And next slide, ma'am. Type any 5 tools you use for interpersonal communication in chat box. So you can type any 5 tools you use to communicate interpersonally with one to one or one to many or during the classrooms to with your friends, family members. So any 5 tools we use for interpersonal communication, to type that in your chat box. Dear participants, please type what tools you use to make your interpersonal communication. Yes, telephone calls, WhatsApp, uh, tools. I ask about tools. Yes, WhatsApp, email. Yes, again WhatsApp, Instagram, Telegram, Instagram calls, emails. Thank you, ma'am. Next, ma'am. Social media. Yes. Next, ma'am. Facebook, social media, oral, verbal, gestures, nodding, verbal, LinkedIn, Insta, WhatsApp. Yes, thank you, participants. Ma'am, next, ma'am, please. Yes, if you have any doubt regarding the presentation, regarding the interpersonal communication, so you can put your questions in the chat box. I'm happy to explain you or clarify you. Thank you all. Thank you for patient listening. Thank you for your participation in the day 4 national workshop. The feedback form will be posted. Please fill up the feedback form. Ma'am, Priya ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Please wait.
Yes. Not but not the least, I would take this opportunity to thank Dr. C. Priya, the organizer of this national workshop, who had uh, work around for all these arrangements. And thank you so much, Priya ma'am. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all for
Thank you all for
participating.
participating.
Most welcome, ma'am. There is a question from a participant, the Balakrishnan. Question goes to you now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sir Balakrishnan, sir. Which communication is effective, madam? Verbal or non-verbal? That is your question. Sir, always non-verbal communication will be more effective than verbal communication, because in non-verbal communication we use our body language, which will reach the listener and which will reach the receiver more effectively than words, because words may be understood by the receiver or not, but non-verbal communication doesn't have any language, so everybody can understand the non-verbal communications. Thank you all once again for your active participation. Thank you, organizer Dr. C. Priya, and thank you once again all for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, participants. I hope you enjoyed the session today on interpersonal communication skill, which was shared by our resource person, Dr. Vijayara Reka ma'am. She discussed from the basic to the advanced level, from definition to tools, ended with activities, engaging activities. I could witness engaging participation from participants. I hope you enjoyed. I request all of you to register your attendance by posting the feedback form, which I have posted in a chat box and a group also. Kindly submit your feedback before 8:30 p.m. today. Thank you, ma'am. Those who filled feedback, you can leave. Thank you so much. I wholeheartedly thank Dr. Vijaya Reka, ma'am, our today's resource person, for sharing your remarkable insights on interpersonal communication for the day 4 of 7-day National E workshop. So here are some feedback from participants, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
So thank you, Julian
Thank
Rani,
you,
ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Prakash sir. Thank you, Dhanya Kavi. Once again, I request all the participants to submit your feedback form. We shall wind up today. We shall meet in tomorrow's link, day 5. Thank you, one and all. Have a good day. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.